we're hanging out with the executive director of the West Michigan Sports Commission, Mike Guswiler. Michael, welcome into the show.
Steve, thanks so much. Appreciate being on the show, and you're pulling double duty. So it's always good to
well, you like to work. I like to work. Ryan likes to play. He's over at Hard Rock, man. It's got 60,000 people. It's a smaller stadium than what normally hosts. It's so amazing when your team gets to go and play on that kind of level. Western Michigan hockey got a chance to go to the national championship last year. I did not go, but one of my best friends, Bill Sprague, ended up going, and it was just sort of a mind-blowing experience. I got a chance to see the Row the Boat Broncos play at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, and that was with the biggest and greatest big screen in the stadium on earth, and 75,000 people were at that one. But this is for the national title. This is a whole different level of excitement. So Ryan's going to have the time of his life as an alum.
Well, and that's the power of sport, right, Steve? I mean, especially when your team can be in it. But there's millions of people watching this game, and that's awesome for Ryan. I'm nowhere near as exciting. I'm in my basement calling you from there, so we all got to do our thing.
I'm excited for them because it's a different kind of exhilaration, and they got the national championship sort of staring them in the face, and then they got a game to play. And as we saw in those NFL games, nothing's guaranteed in football. Is that like the craziest NFL playoff season we've ever had?
Oh yeah, and it's great to see. I think there's more to see yet. We saw the Broncos game go down to the wire, and then heard QB's got a broken ankle. So when they were the early on favorites, now who knows? It's a toss up. So that
was towards the end of the game. I didn't see the play that it happened on. I think it was their last possession, and he limped off the field and tried to keep his teammates away from him because he set him up for the field goal. And he broke his ankle.
Yeah,
and bone neck. So those injuries on that level just make me sick. I just don't know the answer. Never seen this many injuries of all kinds at all positions too. Let's talk about the Sports Commission and I talked to Julie Shields Cullen. She liked that. I put her maiden name in there. And you've got the Meyer State Winter Games kicking off, and she previewed all of that. Let's talk about the Sports Commission.
Yeah, happy to, Steve. Hard to believe we're in our 19th year, still doing great things to bring visitors in our community and bring their pocketbooks with them, right, and those dollars. So we had another great year in 2025. We do, our metrics at the end of the year and send out a press release and just talk about it. And it was a solid year. Some measurables didn't hit the year prior to. We had some cancellations. But even with that, so we had some cancellations at the Meyer Sports Complex. But with that, we did more hotel room nights, meaning we had more teams from out of town.
Oh, wow.
So there's always some positives that you can pull from the year. But $83.5 million of estimated visitor spending is nothing to sneeze at.
Wow, and that's the reason why Peter Secchia 20 years ago, because he worked on it, probably 23 years ago, worked on this concept to try to get it set up with with Kent County, with the county, and with the city, and with maybe with some state money. And lo and behold, it got launched. What year was that? 2007 or 6?
So end of 2006, it was officially formed as a 501c3. 2007, they began the national search process. I joined them end of May, beginning of June of 2007.
Yeah, I remember it well. Can you believe, Mike, that 19 years have gone by? It's just shocking. I mean, it doesn't seem like anything's changed. It seems like you just started. You know what I mean? I mean, to me, I've known you through the whole process, and it just, we got to be careful where these years are going. It's like crazy. But how many? $90 million of economic impact?
Well, 83.5, so a solid year. Last year, I think we did 90 million, so down a little bit because we, didn't have the 112 events we had last year. or last year, I should say 2024, because we're in a new year. But again, a solid year. Our big event that we, kind of our all hands on deck was a pretty special one. You mentioned this show is sponsored by Mary Free Bed. Well, they were a partner of ours in hosting Move United, the Hartford Nationals. That's the largest adaptive sports competition in the country for youth and adults. So it was great to see the families and the athletes and to hear their stories, but see what sport really can do to break barriers.
Yeah, and it's a great thing. You got a big luncheon, your annual luncheon coming up. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, our annual luncheon's always been that report back to the community. We started out in year one, just kind of tell the community who we were. Had Tom Izzo, was a sellout, of course, and with the help of the aforementioned Peter Secchia, it just really got us rolling and got people to believe in what we're doing. And each year we've just had, great success with additional speakers. We've had the likes of Brady Hoke and Kirk Cousins, Kirk Gibson, really just some great names out there in the sports world that are connected to Michigan or our area. And unfortunately, COVID put a halt on that, kind of had to regroup a little bit, went back at it. We brought Tom Izzo back, and he, of course, did another great job. He loves the Grand Rapids area.
Yeah.
The last luncheon we held was another rock star, Steve Eiserman. And, just was incredible to have him. He's just an incredible person, very personable. And then we tried to hit a home run, and everybody was after the Lions, and we jumped on that bandwagon, and we just couldn't land, the coach or the general manager or even the owner.
Dan Campbell, especially coming off that 15-2 season, even now he's a little more controversial because but it would be a headliner. Everybody,
I don't think anyone wants to see him do play calling next year. Is my belief.
But all these people are crazy. For us who've been in this market our whole lives, to have 4 winning years in a row, is just unheard of for Detroit Lions. And then Bob Trimble's my good friend in Pittsburgh, and he's on the warpath against Mike Tomlin. And they've had 19 straight winning seasons.
Yeah.
And Bob just said that's not the standard, Steve. And I said, well, 4 winning seasons here is a pretty good standard.
Well, right. We got to love it. But, it's such a fickle, not to jump off of the luncheon topic, but such a fickle sports industry at that level. NFL. I mean, Sean McDermott. Incredible coach, has gotten them to the playoffs. But, I think the writing was on the wall if he didn't make the Super Bowl. Tough things. But getting back to the luncheon, we pivoted. We found just an awesome speaker. I'm so excited to personally meet him, Dr. James Dixon. And he's got an incredible story. He's a motivational speaker out on the circuit and really used sports to lift himself up, and now he's kind of doing it for others. But he had a challenge with his right leg when he was young. But before he could really even walk, he had to have it amputated. And has kind of used that through his life to not let it hold him back, but to find ways to let it open doors for him and help him to move forward. And so, just an incredible guy that I've had the chance to get to know over the phone. So it's really playing off of our work with Mary Free Bed Wheelchair and Adaptive Sports, the great work that they do in the community, and bring this speaker in to really talk about the power of sport for all. There's just so many benefits that come from sport. Win or lose, it's not so much about that. It's just being competitive and good sportsmanship.
Yeah, all the lessons of sport. This guy would give anything to play sports again, and you know what I mean. And I think a lot of people out there would give, and that's why they become such great fans. Rabid fans, and so that the fanaticism of sports is. it's great for the sports business, sports industry, especially for sports talk radio, because people, the only reason they're rabid is because they care. And
Right.
maybe too much sometimes, but that's okay. You know what I mean? Because they don't have a voice in it. They want a voice in it. Now with social media, everybody's got a voice in it. So it's, I don't know, it's okay because they're rabid and they might say the wrong thing and they're not as eloquent as Mike Guswiler and they might say it wrong, right? But then they're forgiven and they move on, and people get these blips to be able to voice their opinion and then it goes away. You know what I mean? It's not to be taken personally, but the messages from somebody like James Dixon slows us all down a bit because I think one of the biggest things that we're guilty of in the United States is taking a lot of stuff for granted.
For sure.
And almost everything for granted. And this guy is going to tell a story and sort of stop you in your tracks a little bit. And when you become handicapped, it's a different set of challenges that make certain people rise to all kinds of new levels to get things done that they never had any intention of getting done because of their handicap. Their handicap catapulted them. So do you think that'll be part of the message after you talk to him?
Oh, I'm certain it will be, Steve. And to your point, it's not just about sports either. It propels them to believe they can do anything in their lives. And so it's a game changer for them to have that belief. All of us need that to really believe that we can accomplish things and go at it with 100%. And you're going to fail and fall down once in a while, but it's about keeping at it. I mean, look at Indiana in the championship game for football, not basketball.
Who would have thought that? What's the date of the luncheon?
So the date is February 12th. If you go to our website, westmisports.com, look under events. Our annual luncheon page is there. There's a lot of information on buying a table or buying tickets, but there's no question. You'll get a great meal. It's at the JW Marriott. It's at noon. We get you out by 1:30. Great motivational speaker, but you'll enjoy a great meal as well.
And the who's who of sports will be there. Mike Guswiler, Executive Director, West Michigan Sports Commission. Thanks for joining us on the Sports Intel Show.